Talking about joy. Our next conversation is with a guest that everyone will benefit from. So be sure to tune in for this one. Take your notes. Many Americans are probably deficient in what Allegra Cohen says, and it's the birthright and ultimate strategy for success. Joy.
Joy.
Who knew?
Joy.
So can you hear us? Allegra, are you
Hey,
there?
Allegra.
There she is. Hi, good
Hi,
morning.
guys.
Okay, so you had a near-death experience, bullying and personal challenges. So you really, through all of this in your life, you've learned how to unlock our greatest purpose. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I created Brave Life because I needed it. From navigating bullying, Crohn's disease, divorce, loss, all of the things that we can all relate to. I discovered that joy isn't about perfect circumstances. Joy is actually a daily choice and a practice. And now I teach people of all ages and demographics, from middle schoolers to the US Navy, how to create and infuse joy into their own lives, no matter what is going on outside of them.
Can you give us a few pointers? I know we don't have a ton of time, to dive deep here, but we have enough time for you to give us a few pointers on how do we make this a daily practice?
Well, joy is actually a really powerful resilience tool, and I have a 3-step joy reset that is simple, and we can do it in 30 seconds. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so the first step is to pause and ground. What you need to do right now is place your hands on your heart and take a nice deep breath in and let it all go. And then you can just say to yourself, I'm here, I'm okay. And that actually grounds you into what is true in the present moment. And then step 2 is to honor the hard and invite in a micro joy. So what that looks like is, yes, I'm having a really tough moment, and I'm open to noticing something that is right in front of me that can bring me comfort and light me up inside. And then step 3 is smile. Allow that micro joy to land in your body. Even a half smile will signal safety to your brain, release those feel-good chemicals, and rewire your nervous system to receive more joy during challenging times.
I love all of this. Where did your mind go when she said to notice something in the immediate vicinity that brings you joy?
You.
Oh, me?
I'm kidding.
Thank you.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony.
Now I can't say mine.
What was yours?
Donuts over there.
Yeah, donuts are good
I'm
too.
that superficial.
You
but
know-
no, Caitlin, the feeling is mutual, obviously.
Okay, so you are the Chief Joy Officer and founder of Brave Life. So what is Brave Life exactly, this program?
Brave Life is a program that I coach individual clients on, and I am a speaker, and I go around and I teach about micro joys. It's all about savoring the present of the present moment, no matter what you are experiencing. Life it's an entire human experience, and I love to teach people about having the compassion for yourself to allow these moments of relief in as you are braving all of the things that life throws at us.
One of the things, Allegra, that I can't remember which mental health professional I heard say this, but that there's a lot of pressure on people these days to feel happy and feel joy at all times. And when we're not happy, you freak out that you're not happy, and then that sends you down a spiral of, hey, why am I not feeling the joy that I should be feeling right now? Do you have any advice on how to kind of interrupt that negative feedback loop?
Absolutely. I am so not into that toxic positivity. I absolutely celebrate the idea that, that it's normal to feel all of the different feelings that we experience in a day. You're not alone. And what I suggest is to just allow yourself, have that compassion to have these moments of relief throughout your day, that is what will help to provide that strength no matter what it is that you are facing. So much of life we can't control, but what we can control is our attitude, our mindset, and our energy. And that's what we need to really guard and protect as much as possible.
So you say that joy is a skill that requires practice. Is this kind of like the wiring your brain, like you automatically go one way or another with your thoughts?
Yes, everything, I believe, is where we place our focus, our attention. Our attention is our power. And so whatever we decide to focus on during the day, so much of life pulls us so often in that negative loop and that spiral that you were talking about. And what we need to do is get back into the driver's seat and have that control of what we choose to place our focus on, because that is our life.
Can you tell us a little bit of background, Allegra, on your own experience? As Caitlin alluded to when introducing you, she alluded to some of your backstory. Will you tell us, because I do think it helps our viewers to hear a personal story and how you overcame some of these challenges yourself and how you started integrating some of these practices. Can you kind of rewind and get us started on how, or get us updated on how this mission all started for you?
Absolutely. When I was in fifth grade, it kind of all began as I was terribly bullied emotionally and physically. And I would be deathly afraid to go to school. And what I realized is that I would need to create and infuse joy into myself because I couldn't count on receiving it from outside of me. And as I would get ready for school, I would dance around my room and change my energy. And I would journal how I was feeling. And I would look in the mirror and I would tell myself, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am confident. And I started this whole method back in the day.
Wow.
And then I realized how I would need to practice this over and over and over again because life is all the things. And then when I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, that was so hard. It took me out of school for months at a time. And I had to learn how to live with a chronic illness and pain that I couldn't control in my body. But I realized I could control my mind. And again, where I placed my focus, and the more that I would tap into gratitude for everything that I had. Gratitude it's very trendy right now. Everyone's doing it. And that's because it works. And when we can really tap into that gratitude, we really can find that hope and strength within us.
So last month, the United States Navy invited you to talk about joy. What was that experience like?
It was one of the best moments of my life because I realized just what these, like, teaching bravery to the nation's bravest, like, it was surreal. But what they are experiencing is this Navy mindset. I was coming in to help them in their new Warrior Toughness initiative. And this kind of toughness, it wasn't about, being physically strong and serving our country. This was about the transition time that is so necessary to refuel them and renew them, moving from their Navy mindset and returning to their homes and their families, and how they could learn how to tap into their joy and their inner child and be able to be silly and play and creative and use their imaginations again, and be able to take that with them when they returned home.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's a completely different form. It's a completely different skill than, again, that standard, the things that they train for day to day. It's a different form of bravery that you're talking about. Now, I'm reading here, Allegra, that you make a distinction between joy and happiness. Is that correct?
It's true. Yes, I do. Joy, again, it's all of life. It's experiencing the hard and being able to find these moments of respite that you can be able to savor the present of the present moment. Joy is in the present moment. Happiness is awesome. I am all for happiness. And happiness can be fleeting.
Yeah.
And happiness can have an expectation that isn't necessarily rooted in authenticity all the time. And so that's why I'm the Chief Joy Officer.
Yes.
Well, Allegra, if someone's listening to this and they want to reach out to you about Brave Life, where should they contact you?
Well, for your viewers today, you can head over to allegracohen.com. And when you enter your email address, I have a free gift for all of you, which are 7 days in a row of Brave Life affirmations to accompany your new Joy Reset system. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Allegra Cohen.
Thank you
So nice to meet you, Allegra. Thank you for
Great
sharing.
to meet you, Caitlin and Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the
Have a
pleasure
great
was ours. Have a great
weekend.
weekend. Should be
You too.
an easier than average weekend to find joy here in Chicago. What were you going to say?
She mentioned how she got bullied in 5th grade.
Yeah.
I remember specifically this story. I got bullied twice when I was young, little, like elementary school. One time was in 5th grade, and the story is, I was sitting on top of, it just came to mind when she said that. I was sitting on top of the desk, like there was kids scattered about, and there were these boys that were sitting behind me, and I started hearing them say, Oshkosh, Oshkosh. And I was like, what? And then they started calling me Oshkosh. Turns out my underwear band was sticking out the top of my pants.
And it was Oshkosh.
And it said Oshkosh on it. So then my nickname was Oshkosh. And another time, it was another wardrobe
stuck with you
malfunction.
all these- yeah, okay.
These,
No, those
5th grade.
No, those
5th grade.
childhood experiences stay with you.
They
That's
burn
no
in your
joke.
brain. The
Yeah.
other one was like, I was even younger, probably like 3rd or 4th grade. And I remember going to my girlfriend's house and I had to wear her clothes for some reason. I guess my clothes, maybe they got wet or something. But her shorts were like white and too small. You could definitely see my underwear through it. And her brother was like, are you going to your boyfriend's house in those shorts? I still remember
And that
it to
stuck
this
with
day.
you to this day too.
Can you even? Do you remember
Hey.
anything from your elementary school days like that? You were the cool kid.
No, I definitely was not the cool kid, but I think I was so timid but for a reason, it was self-protection to stay out of. I tried to avoid situations like that at all
Okay.
costs.
Yes.
So nothing like that traumatic springs to mind
Yeah.
From that age. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but perhaps I have selective memory.
You don't see they didn't. Yeah. So
there
nothing like that.
there was one incident I'll disclose in middle school. You know, I have Latino background, right? I was perhaps the only Latino kid in the middle school where I grew up, so there were comments in like 6th grade that stuck with me for sure on that.
No.
And I didn't quite know how to respond to those. So those things.
So you were a little bit later.
Yeah, a little bit later,
older,
but they burn.
school.
Yeah, but they burn into your brain. You know,
Yes,
that's
they
'cause
do.
elementary school kids. They don't.
They're babies.
Yeah, they're
I
babies.
mean, they're babies.
You hope that none of those kids see color at all, but then by the time you get into middle school, you know, those kinds of comments. You know,
And don't you just want to protect your kids? Like,
Oh,
I am
for
so
sure.
worried about
It's one of the hardest things I think about being a parent is the
interactions they're going to have with their
yeah,
cohorts and like
exactly.
wanting to just protect their little heart and their mind. I know.
Exactly. And then knowing when you need to let go as well, because you can't control every last little thing, I think. And there's so much vulnerability there because you can't monitor every last little thing and who they're going to be around. So it's like Allegra was saying, equipping your kids with the tools to handle situations like that. And it sounds like she really had to dig deep to kind of
even when she was that age.
Yeah, to like reassure herself. How did you do with those, you know, the incidents too? Were you able to figure out a way through that?
No. I
Yeah,
don't think so.
it's
That's
just-
probably
it
why
was
I'm
just
still
tricky.
I'm still traumatized today. I don't know. No, I think I just, you keep going on.